on Saturday in the spring game.
Yeah, it's been really good competition across the board from offense, defense, special teams. So that's the biggest thing going to this last scrimmage, and obviously just a really good barometer of where we're at. But seeing both sides compete and respond to whatever comes has been really cool to see as spring ball has gone on. And so that's the biggest thing I want to see on Saturday is our guys compete from the warm-up to the end of the game and see them to respond to whatever comes, good or bad. That's what I want to see. That's my biggest goal.
The media guys this morning were talking about Andy. Mentioned the competition word like 1,000 times this morning.
Yes.
Have you guys, I mean, everybody talks and pushes and promotes competition, but have you guys taken that to another level?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we emphasize every day. Obviously from the top down, Coach Avalos to us on defense, Coach Plow at the offense. I mean, it's across the board. And that's what we're trying to create in everything we do. In meetings, the questions, you're getting something for getting a question right or wrong. I mean, it's just trying to breed it in everything we do from the meetings to the practice field and obviously to scrimmage and spring games. And obviously that will carry over to season. So to answer your question, I mean, it is something that we have stressed at the end of last year, and it has gone on, and our guys now are seeing it because we talk with them all the time, like, who do you compete with first? And they'll say yourself, because you have to. If you can't compete with yourself, I can't help my brother or compete against him in the right way. And so it's been cool to see our guys grow that this spring, and then just the iron sharpens iron is everything for us. So if you bring in your game every day and you're competing with yourself, you are going to make the brother next to you better. And then in turn, everybody grows, and you're seeing that happen in spring ball for us this year.
We talked to Divine the other day, and obviously came back, took the extra year, and slimmed down a little bit. Where does he kind of fit into that D-line rotation there?
Yeah, we've been obviously rolling guys through spring. We try not to, we don't really create a true depth chart in regards to spring. It's more of a seating chart to get reps, get guys on film. Divine's played a lot of football, and so he's been able to play a lot, D-tackle and nose this spring. He's done a really good job, and obviously even for him, he's got his talent. He's got a very talented young man, and really ready for him to step into the next level of his game. He looks way better than he's ever looked. Coach Kagey's done a great job with him, and so he has grown this spring. And just like every single guy on our roster, man, it's how can we keep finishing the growth this week, transition into summer training, fall camp, so on and so forth.
How do you feel about the depth on the defensive line? Do you feel like you guys could kind of go out right now and roll out two groups?
Yes, I feel good about where it is, but we still got to grow it, especially up front. We saw last year how quickly your depth can change, and that's a big goal for our entire team is dependable depth. Just because you're the number 2 on the quote-unquote depth chart doesn't mean that you're going to go play in a game. You know, it's just the way it is. So if you create dependable depth to where the standard, the standard shouldn't change. If you're the starter, yeah, you're the starter for a reason, but hopefully that guy right behind you is competing at such a high level that you're concerned, man, if I'm not on my game today, he's taking my spot. And that's dependable depth, to where if someone's can't play, they're injured, whatever happens, that next guy can slide right in and the standard doesn't change. And that's what we're trying to create, not only in the D-line, across the board defensively.
Linebacker is your position group, and you lost Riley, obviously. Yep. Zeke's back. Where you have a lot of young guys that want to play.
Yeah.
Where's this coming, Spence?
No, and it's a great question. I mean, and we have been rolling guys. I mean, every day is a new rotation for me just to get guys to compete. So one time they're with this group, one time they're with that group, and especially that will linebacker position. I mean, we're rolling guys. And some guys will get reps in one group, and another guy will get a rep with a different group the next day. And so trying to, I know I'm beating a dead horse, guys, and I apologize to him, but just breeding that competition across the board where how you prep to build the confidence to go on the field and play fast, and how consistent you can do that day in and day out is everything across the board. I don't care if you played 3 straight years and you started 3 straight years, or you're trying to sniff the travel team. It's got to be the same, and hopefully we can have that intensity across the board, and I feel like we've taken a big step there.
What about the guys coming up behind Canijo at nickel? It seemed that's a wide open position. So who have you seen there, and how do you feel about that position?
Yeah, and we've been rolling a lot of guys through there as well. I mean, because it's a huge part of what we do. So we've had multiple guys. We've had Shea Oladipo play some nickel. We've had Tyreek Jones. We've continued to roll guys through that position. Once again, to find not only our best 11, but who's really our best 22, and so on and so forth. And so really the nickel position and will are the positions that we have lost a starter at. But I tell our guys, it doesn't mean that everybody else now is kind of locked in and they got their spot. Our guys are competing at a high level. We brought in some guys mid-year that are doing a hell of a job. And so it's cool to see them compete against each other. Maybe not play as well as they want to, one practice, one scrimmage, and then see them know what it takes to, okay, what did I do in my prep, or how did I take care of my body where I wasn't ready for that moment? Okay, I'm gonna fix that so that I'll be ready the next time. And so it's cool to see our guys do that and then lead with each other. We talk all the time, like an average team is a coach-led team, an elite team is a player-led team in regards to, because they're the ones doing it on the field. they're the ones. And so having our guys be able to bring people with them as leaders and seeing the leadership of that group grow across the board is huge. Obviously, still a long way to go in regards to our leadership and how we push this thing forward with losing Kaniho and Riley Wimpy, which were leaders. But it is cool to see guys slowly kind of step into those roles.
What's the most unique thing about playing nickel versus safety and corner?
Yeah, you do so much for our defense. How you disguise, you will blitz, you got to be an elite cover guy. You got to cover the slot. We will also do different calls where you're the post player. So they just do so much. And having savvy at that position is everything for us. Because you got to know all the run fits. You got to obviously know all the different pass techniques. And so being savvy and obviously being a good blitzer with how much he blitzes for us is huge. So they just do a lot. And having the savviness and the football IQ to know, okay, why are these calls being made and how you can bring guys with you on the field is what Colin did such a good job of.
Oladipo, I mean, obviously you got two really good safeties in Tyreek and Jalen coming back. But we saw what he could do when he got an opportunity.
No question.
So you mentioned like maybe playing him in nickel and stuff like that. How important is it maybe try to find him an opportunity?
100%, and talk about just finding our best guys and get them on the field. And Shea's had a really good spring so far. Still a long way to go. A lot of growth that still needs to come from him, just like every other position. But he has potential to be a really good player for us. And seeing Tyreek Jones, JL, a couple of our guys that have been here start to bring him along in regards to how he preps and what it takes to actually play the position. Not just, okay, I know the line on the playbook and what I'm supposed to do. Okay, what are the intricacies of this position? The quarterback's reading you. What are you telling him? All these things that really take the lines in the playbook and put them on the field in the right way, because that's defense. And being able to do that in an elite way is everything. And so he's done a good job. Rodney Robinson has done some good things. And so really being able to roll those safeties around has been huge.
Who are a couple defensive guys that have caught your eye this spring?
The biggest thing for me is just seeing our guys grow as units. And so I don't know if there's maybe one or two guys, BJ, that have stood out to me, because one day it might be this guy or this group, and then the next day another group, another guy steps up. It's just been cool to see our guys as a whole compete and grow as we go through spring. It wasn't just, okay, this group or this guy. And that's what you want. You want there to be some back and forth to where, hey, I did a really good job today. Now how could I take it to the next level? But the guys that that have done a good job for us in the past are continuing to do a good job, and they're pushing for us. I think Scott Matlock's had a phenomenal spring. Now, obviously, even for him, and he'll be the first to tell you, he's got a long way to go, and he's got a long list of things he needs to grow in, and he's very excited to. And you won't find a guy more excited to do that. I think our safeties had really good springs. Zeke's had a good spring. I think Caleb Biggers is really taking his game to the next level. And I could go on and on. There's a lot of guys that I could talk about that have done a good job, but I'm very concerned with our guys right now. My biggest thing is, can we compete the right way starting, what is it even today, April 6th, all the way till season and through season, with ourselves first, and then helping our brother with us. And I think we got a chance to do some good things if we do that.
Demario Warren, how's he fitting in? You get to coach with him now. He's obviously been a head coach.
Yeah.
What's his teaching methods and just fitting in here?
It's been awesome. I mean, Coach Warren's done a really good job with our corners. And first off, it's all about building the trust with your group first and foremost, because those guys don't care how much you know about football until they really know that you care about them, right? And so he's done a really good job, I think, growing the trust with that group, so now he can hold them to a high standard. And cool to see guys that have been here for a long time. And they've had a couple different cornerback coaches, right? And he knew that going in. We knew that as a staff. And he's done a really good job having them buy into what he's teaching and what the schemes are. And so it's cool to see him. And it was funny joking with him, like he's used to coaching whatever it is, 110 guys, now going into coaching a position group, and he's had a lot of fun with it, and he's been a great asset to our defensive staff.
You heard
Cortez Hogan's Jr., what is his strength at the end? Is he a run-first guy? Is he a pass-rush guy?
So the great thing about mid-years is being able to get them just to learn everything, fundamentals, techniques, and Coach Miley has done a great job with Cortez Hogan's in regards to just teaching these things. And Cortez Hogan's can do a lot. He can play the run, he can play in multiple position spots. He can play at end, he can play at an inside shade, outside shade, and cool seeing him. We've thrown a lot on those guys. It's what you do in spring ball. You give them a lot, and he's responded and learned a ton, and he's really competitive in regards to how he wants to learn and how he wants to grow. And so I'm excited for him to continue to take steps, not only this week, but obviously as we go into the summertime.
When you guys have had some elite defenses here, that edge position has been so productive.
No question.
Correa, Curtis Weaver,
Yep.
obviously. How is the development going there, and how badly do you guys need a game changer in terms of playmaking?
100%. We talk about when we win on the edge, we win. And it's not just in the pass game, it's in the run game. We want to play in a box. We don't want to play the whole 53 1/3 width of the field. We want to set edges, and then when it's time, obviously, to go get the quarterback in passing situations, those guys need to go win. And so having elite edge players is a huge part of what we do on defense. And so Coach Papinga being here, Coach Avalos, Coach Frazier, Coach Miley, myself, like that is such a huge push for us. And we've got really good players that we're continuing to grow. And I think the depth there, as well as those guys continue to grow, and as we do more with them, it's been cool to see Coach Pop come in here and learn kind of how we coach that position. And also having him say some things that he's used. Hey, this is a technique I've used in the past, and kind of be able to blend it together. But to your point, Jay, I mean, when we're good there, we're good on defense. And that's a huge part and a huge deal for us defensively, growing that position. Not only the starters, but also the depth, because we use them all the time. We'll use not just 2 guys on the field, it could be 3 or 4, depending on the situation.
You
So it's
got,
been a huge part.
oops, sorry. You got 5 months till the season starts.
Yep.
All this competition, all this stuff you guys are talking about.
Yep.
How do you make sure that's not let down? How that doesn't regress in the next 5 months?
No doubt. I think it's just being intentional with how you handle every single day. Because I feel like sometimes you can get so one of 2 things. Either I get too worried about the moment, or I just feel like I got time.
Yeah.
And so that's something we're always hitting our guys, like, you don't have time. How you handle these little moments are everything. And I was talking to the defense the other day about like compound effect. What are some little things you can do right now that maybe don't seem like a lot, but when you do them for 5 months, it will be a lot. And how that goes into either your overall game or how you can grow as a leader and bring someone with you. So in regards to the competition, it's obviously us as a staff just being able to breathe that in everything they do. Because not like when spring ball's over, it's going to be like, all right, we'll compete come August. Coach Kagi, Coach Avalos do a great job incorporating competition into everything we do. I mean, it can be, like I said, a meeting room. They can be in the weight room, and all of a sudden it's a freaking pull-up competition, and these dudes are going to bloody their hands trying to win. You know what I mean? That's the mentality you're training in everything you do.
What's compounding stuff are the example? Do you have any examples of the compounding stuff?
Or
you're talking
just
about?
something for that. Let's say you get wake up 15 minutes early to say your prayers, or say no to soda. You know, so a very small thing that maybe doesn't look like a lot, but over time will be. I told him, like, what's an extra 15 minutes in the film room every day? It's not going to seem like a lot that day for you, and it might not change your game there, but if you do that for the next weeks and months, it will change how you live.